Okay, so this is going to cover the basics of thermochemistry. I'm not going to delve into anything too deep here. I'm just going to try to give you guys some basic stuff. So in thermochemistry, I guess the most important thing is the law of conservation. Is it of energy? Let me make sure. Yep, of energy. So basically, rule number one to don't create or destroy energy. Basically, at the beginning of the reaction, at the end of the reaction, there's going to be the same amount of energy. Whether it went stayed in the system, went out of the system, or went into the system, it can't be created or destroyed. Okay, so I'm going to draw a graph here, and kind of how we can find an energy change. This graph, I think this is how I would keep things straight. So basically, there's a change in enthalpy, and then a delta H. So this is your delta H, which is like heat produced. So like this would be enthalpy. And this would be delta H. And this would be exothermic. This would be endothermic. And let me explain why. So here's where your reactants start at the beginning of a reaction. This is potential energy. And this is kind of like time of reaction. I'm just going to put PE. So your reactant start at a state. It's going to require some activation energy. This is why we have enzymes in biology. And then in that reaction, the molecules will be either at a higher state of energy, and this would mean they took in energy. They took more energy in from the surroundings, such as adding heat, than they output. So they would feel cold. This example, they would feel cold to the touch. They took in energy. So the surroundings are going down in energy, which would make them feel colder. Exothermic is the opposite. The energy, it goes up, but it released more energy. So at the end, the molecules are at a lower energy state. More energy was given off. Okay, and so then ways to find this real quick would be stoichiometry, which would just be when there's energy in the equation, you can use that and the ratios it's given via moles to figure that out. Calorimetry, that's going to be the equation Q equals mc delta T, and I'll go over that, each of these separately. Table values. So these are agreed upon values that we can use to calculate Hess's law. And then bond energies. So this, you can calculate the energies per bond and add those together and subtract to figure it out. To figure out delta H, and then you can use Hess's law, which is basically you do a bunch of different reactions, and then using math and you add them together to get your target equation, and then that target equation, you can use that to calculate the delta H.